Hey adventurers, so today is going to be another book review. This is going to be for The Gathering Storm by Robert Jordan, which I believe is book 12 of the Wheel of Time series. This is by both Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson. Sanderson had to step in to finish this book, and I will get to that in a second here. This is, just like the rest of the books in the series, epic fantasy, high fantasy, a lot of the same subgenres that have been in the rest of this series so far. A lot of politics, a lot of character relationships. It's very much an epic and high fantasy series. The Gathering Storm is book 12 of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. This book was finished by Brandon Sanderson after Jordan's death. This book truly starts moving us toward the ending of the series after several books that, for me, were a little bit tough to get through, and so it's very nice to be wrapping that up a little bit. Before I get on into the rest of this review, though, I just quickly like to say welcome to an Erudite Adventure. I'm T. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will continue on with this review. So this book is finally setting the pieces into place for us to be able to finish up this series. It's taken a long time to get here, especially through the books that a lot of people consider a slog. Some of them I did, some of them I didn't. Ones that other people do, I considered not, and some that they considered aren't, I considered are, stuff like that. It's weird, convoluted. I didn't love this series that much. But anyways, we're finally moving towards the finish of this series. I actually feel like the character development and progressions we are getting in this book were fantastic. And throughout this entire book, there was a sense of dread and foreboding building as we step closer and closer to the last battle, which no longer seems very far off. It seems like it's imminent. While I don't remember a ton of what happened with all the characters, there's a lot of characters in this series that you have to keep track of. There were three in particular that I remember particularly well. Matt, though while his character doesn't receive much page time in this book, he has some incredible story moments, I felt. The whole Hinderstap Bubble of Evil storyline, I think that's what the village or city is called. But anyways, that whole Bubble of Evil storyline or moment, scene, whatever sequence that you want to call it, was very interesting to me. I felt that is some of the most interesting stuff that Matt has been involved with in quite a while, and really that has happened to him in general. I liked the stuff with Tuon, which apparently is not that common of an opinion, but then this Bubble of Evil moment in Hinderstap is another one where I felt that it was a good Matt moment. Egwene as well, we finally reached the place that she's been working towards for several books now. From the time when she was placed in the position of Amerlin of the rebel Aes Sedai in Saladar, I believe is that village, until now, that whole timeline, it's kind of been building, working to prove that she deserves the position, and that she's been building towards, and it's been moving in this direction the whole time. Sometimes with setbacks, sometimes it's moving slowly, sometimes it's boring. But this book, I didn't feel like that was happening. And for the first time in quite a few books, that storyline has become interesting to me. The manipulation and maneuvering that she is doing actually keeps me interested in her story, and I want to come back to it every time we end up leaving to follow another character for a moment. And then finally, Rand. Rand's storyline is, I feel like this is an excellent Rand book. He starts out in this book infuriatingly frustrating, and this has been his character for the past several books. His whole idea of needing to be harder than steel, harder than Quindiar, and just harder and harder and harder. He can't bend, he can't break, he can't be twisted. It's taken to an extreme finally in this book. He's losing people's trust and respect left and right. Everything that he attempts is failing or not going as he wanted, and it just ends in pain and mutilation for him, and it's hard. But the last pages of this book, when he visits the Dragon Mount, that brings it all together. It brings everything together into something that is just genuinely really good for his character, for the story that's being told. It's just good storytelling. It fulfills so many of the promises that have been made through the series, and I'm instantly reminded that, yeah, I do like Rand. I've liked him since page 1 of book 1. And it's just good to see that the Rand that we've all come to know and love in the first few books is still there. He just lost his way a little bit, and he needs to get back on track, and it's taken him a while to get there. Sanderson, as I mentioned, finished this book for Robert Jordan. Having picked up and finished the writing of this book, actually does an excellent job at not changing his writing style, but tailoring it and adapting it to fit The Wheel of Time and Robert Jordan's writing. It's a bit more fast-paced and punchy than Jordan was, but it gets the job done, and it gets it done well. And I definitely understand why he was selected to finish the series for Jordan. Overall, this book was very enjoyable to me, much more so than many of the others in the series have been. And if all the books were like this one was, I could actually understand why it's held in such high regard as one of the greatest fantasy series of all time. There's a lot of really good stuff going on throughout the whole series, but specifically this book just did a really good job at taking it all and all the good things and putting it into one book and removing a fair amount of the things that are less great. So I'll say it that way. Anyways, I did enjoy the book. I am excited to be moving towards the end. I've got, at the time of filming this video, I have one book left to read in series, and I'm waiting until I get, we'll see how long I wait to read it. I might pick it up sooner now. I just don't want to have a whole bunch of books in a series to review when I'm reading other books in the series still. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching an Erudite Adventure. We post videos every Monday and Thursday and have our social medias linked in the description down below. We will see you guys again soon. Stay warm.